We scientifically proved the most efficient way to pack your clothes, but if you have an optimized setup and you put it in a poorly designed bag, it's kind of like putting a Ferrari engine in a golf cart. What's up everyone, Emerald here from Emerald's Daily Carry. I'm out here in Arizona, but we're gonna take it back to San Francisco for episode 5 of our Built in the Bay series. We're talking about true buy it for life gear from a brand you might not know, but you definitely should, WaterField Designs. If you're new here, welcome. If you're kind of on the fence about how bags are really relevant to you, I would say that if you're into travel, bags should definitely be a part of the conversation because it's not just the thing that holds all of your stuff, it's the thing that makes travel possible. Upgrading your bag game is definitely something that will instantly transform your travel experience. This is actually episode 5 of our Built in the Bay series where we take you behind the scenes into the design studios of our favorite carry brands based in San Francisco. If you're into gear that makes everyday life and travel easier, check out the playlist that I have linked in the description. In this episode, we're taking a look at WaterField Designs. What's really unique about them is that they're actually fully vertically integrated, which means that they have their design team, manufacturing, fulfillment, and customer service all under one roof, which means that they're super agile. They can get products out on market really quickly, like maybe in a week's time, and they can also control a lot of the quality. Today, we're taking you inside of their workshop to check out all of their unique product offerings to see if it's something that you might be interested in. So let's take a look. What's up everyone, Emerald here from Emerald's Daily Carry, and we're gonna be looking at some of WaterField Designs' product line with Amiel here. What do you wanna start talking about first?
You know, we can start talking about, this is our Pro Executive backpack, but one of the main reasons I love this bag, and it's a great place to start, is because this bag was designed through a process called community design.
We'd like to involve you in designing our next executive backpack. Now, we've done this before, developing the popular airport or carry-on bag and the Nintendo Switch cases. So over the next 2 months, we're setting out to design the perfect professional backpack.
Which is essentially, we ask our customers what they want and we take them through the whole design process. So every week or 2 weeks, we would literally send them an update saying, hey, this is where we're at the design process. What do you think? Here's a survey, let us know. And man, the surveys, we had multiple choice, but we also had like just open fields and they would write essays, super long essays about what they want in a business backpack. So a few of the main features that they wanted was that there was kind of like a multi-purpose space in the front and then an office compartment in the back. So you can see here, you have your laptop, there's a space for like your files and your folders, and then you have a main compartment for like everything else. And then the other thing that they asked for is that they wanted to be able to take this, which is the executive folio, which is essentially a modular piece that goes in the back of the backpack, so that when you're going to a meeting, you don't take your whole backpack, you just take your folio and you go to your meeting.
With your business papers.
With your business papers. Yeah, your very important business papers. I remember a guy and I were talking about it. We're like, okay, let's give it like 6 weeks. I think it took me 3 months to get to the final process because we just really had to fine tune and tweak everything. You don't really see it, but like this bag stands up really well because we made it so that the geometry of it is something that you can carry with you because we have a lot of like digital nomad type workers that can like go to a cafe, put it on the ground, and then like access all their gear and keep it on the ground without it toppling over. And just the patterns and the construction of that, whew, that took a long time.
Just to make it self-stand?
Yeah, yep. Which is crazy because you see all these photos of bags self-standing, but they don't really self-stand unless you have the geometry right. And for this bag, we had to get it just right.
Yeah, and is that like just more padding at the bottom, or what specifically about the geometry? Like, is it have to be bigger at the, you know, on the back side and smaller on the front? Is that how that geometry works?
So it's not super obvious, but it kind of looks like a pyramid. So if you look at the bottom, you do a very big bottom base, but everything tapers up to a point.
And I know that, like, yeah, specifically for people who work in coffee shops and everything, having to put your bag on the floor and then it just flops over, such an annoying thing.
So embarrassing. It's
yeah.
the worst.
And then I just wanted to ask about the community aspect of it. Like, how did you get those surveys and then like quantify and then judge which of these are good ideas and maybe some that are not great ideas and like combobulate it into something that is a representable product?
There's feedback and input, and then there's insight. And it's two very different things, and you have to take all the input and distill it into design insight. And what that is like throughout the process, you make a decision of like, hey, everyone wants a water bottle. No one wants to see a water bottle pocket. And so you're like, okay, I take that input, and I'm like, how do I turn it into something? And so then as the designers, we have to come up with a solution. And so for like this bag, this compartment, you can see here, this is for your gear, but then on this side, this is also for gear, but what you can't see is that the pocket actually goes inside. So if you put a water bottle pocket in here, it'll take up space inside the bag and you can hide it.
Okay, well, that was a really awesome, quick overview of the Pro. I guess, what is the difference between this and this bag over here?
Okay, so this is the Shinjuku backpack. I actually the idea of this came because I was going on a trip to Japan. And I was
As we all do.
As we all do, yeah. And I was like, what is a great bag to take to Japan? And so I took the constraints that I had, which is like, I'm gonna go into subways. It's gonna be really crowded, but I still want a backpack because I'm gonna be running around all day. I'm gonna be on my feet. I don't want like something that's just on one shoulder. The main thing was the shape. So unlike a lot of other bags out there, it's actually quite
shallow.
Quite shallow, and it's quite svelte. It's not a deep bag, but it still holds a lot of stuff because it's quite tall. So this is like ideal for commuting, for walking around. The pockets, very simple, but very straightforward. When you have a top pocket, it's easy to grab stuff when you're sitting down on a train. I think I took this on a hike in Nara. It was like perfect. It was a great bag for that. So very different processes. This is very much like we reached out to the community, and this is more for like, this is how we travel, and this is how we want to do it. And we kind of have like two different ways of approaching how we start designing stuff.
Yeah, because it seems like this kind of came also from your own personal experiences of like, this is what I want to carry.
Yes.
And even for me, like, I'm a smaller person. Deep bags look like crazy big on me. So I really appreciate like a smaller form factor type of bags like this. And it's also hard to find nowadays, I think, like this slimmer form factor.
It's there are trends for bags. You go slimmer, deeper, we go this color, we use this fabric. But for us, we know that like every person carries things differently. And so we should cater to everyone.
Yeah, so. Awesome. Is there any other specialties about the Shinjuku that you wanted to talk about?
I think the only other thing that we have in all of our bags is that there's this, at first it's a little striking, it's just this like very bright gold liner. And the reason is that it just helps you see everything inside. So some people are like, hey, why is that liner so bright? Why can't you make it a neutral color? And it's become like a WaterField thing where like, well, yes, but like, especially this, it's deep and shallow. You want visibility. So yeah.
I totally get that. I think that, some carryology folks are really into high-vis orange interiors, which is even more loud than that. But I definitely appreciate a really bright interior lining because, yeah, they can be really dark and deep in there.
Yeah, we don't want it to be a black hole. So yeah, that's really tricky.
All right, and then for these products here, if you want to switch places with me.
Yeah. So this one is also a community design piece, and this is probably one of our most popular community designs. It's like a very well-reviewed bag. This is called the Airporter Brief, and this is specifically for air travel because the premise was when you're traveling on an airplane, your carry-on bag has to go under the seat in front of you. But we were like, but then you lose all your leg room. How do you access all your things? So we came up with the Airporter. And we travel a lot, but we, again, needed feedback because we want to know how people travel themselves. So this fits under the seat in front of you. If you put it in this way, it's the exact right height so that like the seat, even in like tight airlines, this can still slide all the way under and you can put your feet on either side. Another cool thing is we made it modular as well, so that when you get to your seat, you take out this magnetic flap, and you pull out your air caddy.
Wow.
And this holds your iPad. So it has an iPad holder. You can put your passport in here. And then you put that in your seat front pocket. So that like you have everything you need like within arm's reach.
Yeah, all of your peripherals, your tech stuff, it can just come out so that you don't have to fuss with this once you're seated, your actual big bag. That's awesome. Can you tell me a little bit about like what were the specific design choices in the final product of this that kind of were community inspired?
Oh yeah. This one, so there were a few things. One, which was like a no-brainer, but man, it's just like, it totally passed me when we were talking about it, was like the community wanted a slot for your wheelie suitcase. So when you get your wheeled suitcase and you don't want to carry this bag, you just slide through the handles. It's great. People also wanted a separate office compartment, like with the Pro Executive Backpack. So when you open this opens all the way, so that when you want to go through TSA, you just open it like that. And you can keep your laptop in the pocket, and it just goes through the X-ray that way. This one is actually a Gary thing, and the community responded really well to it, which is in this front pocket, you can see all of these little pockets. And I was like, I don't know, Gary, like that's a lot of little pockets. I'm like, what are you gonna put in there? And he's like, trust me, when I travel, you have all these little things. And the community responded really well to that. So what we did is I don't remember what update that is, but we're like, hey, by the way, we're gonna try this. What do you think? And they said, oh my gosh, yes, please have that.
More pockets.
More pockets, yeah, more pockets.
And I think that this style, like messenger brief style, I think it's coming back.
Yeah?
This cycle of people who are like more into this, kind of more for the same reasons that you're saying, like it fits so well under the seat in front of you versus a big bag that kind of like takes up all of your space and you're kind of crouched into the seat, for 16 hours. So these accessories over here?
Yeah, these little accessories, they're kind of oddly shaped, but they're actually very specific to a device. So this is our AirPods Max Shield case. We came up with this, I think, December of 2019, right during the holidays. Apple came out with AirPods Max for the first time, and it's a great product. The only thing is it didn't have an off button. And it drove...
I don't think it has an off button still, so...
It drives people crazy. We have one, and like at the time, we had to put this case that came with it to turn it off. And the case wasn't super protective. So people were like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't want to put it in this case. I don't know how to turn it off. And what we learned was that if you put a magnet in between the two cups of the AirPods Max, it'll turn it off. Super simple. And so we designed this little like kind of a wing that like goes down or up, but it goes in between the two cups. So when you put the AirPods Max in this case, it'll turn it off. You have space for your charging block here. You have space for your cords in the front, and it's protected all the way around with a waterproof zipper. And people were like, yeah, that's it. That did it for us.
Was it pretty popular once you guys got it up into production?
Oh my gosh, yeah, it was like super popular. It's still probably one of our most popular cases. We cranked it out in about, I think, a week.
A week. From like the beginning to like it's on the website where people can buy it.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy story actually. So we got to the shop, we learned about the magnet thing, and so Gary went on to Craigslist, but he got a guy who happened to get 2 AirPods Maxes. We tested it out, and when we learned that it worked, we made a few more tweaks, and then I think within a week of the AirPods Max launching, we were able to send this product out to market.
Wow.
So it was bonkers, but it was so worth it. Honestly, it was kind of fun. It was kind of like an adrenaline rush.
Yeah, like, kind of one of those like 24-hour competitions or whatever. Like, what can we make in a day? Let's see.
Yes. Seriously, it felt like 2 days of like designing and then like trying to prototype something. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think that that's like a really great like use case of how vertical integration helps you to become like go faster to market. Like you didn't have like this whole long process of like trying to get samples and then going back and forth with materials and manufacturing. Like it's all in-house under one roof. You just walk 10 feet and you can get it done.
I've worked in big bag companies before. Usually it's about like 2 weeks for a prototype, and that's like a very, very fast prototype. So the fidelity of that prototype isn't even like super high, but here, Again, with that, I think we did it in 2 days. With this other one, which is the Vision Pro case, we also did it in that same like intense timeline. When we see a need, it starts from customers. So like upstairs customer service, Gary is literally talking to you. He's getting your emails, and then he'll come down to us and be like, hey, what can we do to fix this? Or what can we do to solve this problem? The production team and I work super close so that like, hey, we have this really quick case we need to turn around, but we want to do it right. So let's talk this through. Let's make sure everything is done correctly for manufacturing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the WaterField story. If I can kind of summarize it here, it just looks like, quality, fast nimbleness, but not necessarily rushing into something. And then, just the amount of support that there is about all the products. This is really, really, really awesome. But if you had to just like, what is the DNA, the WaterField way? Could you summarize it in a couple of sentences? What can you expect from a WaterField product?
To me, like the foundation, this is like the bottom of your food table or your dietary table or whatever. Good raw materials, highly skilled work that leads to great construction. And then you have really thoughtful bags. And then like above that is you have the people that work here will listen to you, will listen to the customers. Again, we're vertically integrated. So user feedback, hearing from people, just constantly talking with people makes the whole space like, I guess that's the WaterField way. And
you've been here for quite a while now, and it sounds like that the churn rate here is pretty low. Yeah. Kind of surprising in Silicon Valley, I think, right?
Yeah, I've been here, I think this will be my 10th year, which in Silicon Valley is like super long. It's like a lifetime in this city. Most people, it's like 2 to 4 years, then you move on to your next startup or you move on to your next venture. But I've been here 10 years. Most of the workers here have been here for a long, long time, longer than me. And it's great. It's just we get to work together. It's kind of a big family. So
yeah, and I think that longevity just really does speak to the value system that WaterField has, and like how people have really bought into that philosophy, and it shows in the quality of work, and that you're all still here 10 years later. It's really awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's great.
Well, that was a really quick overview of some of the products that you can expect from WaterField Designs. Thank you so much for your time and showing us all of the cool bags you have.
Of course. Thank you.
And that's a quick look at WaterField Designs and what they have to offer in terms of some of their products. Thank you so much to WaterField and Amiel for taking the time out of their busy schedule to show all of the products that you saw today. If you want to see exactly how these bags are made, make sure that you're subscribed, because we're going to do a deep dive studio tour in our next Built in the Bay episode. But like I mentioned at the start of this video, your bag can definitely make or break your trip, and I want to hear from you. What are some of the craziest travel mishaps that you've had with a bag? Comment down below. But that's going to do it for this one. My name is Emerald from Emerald's Daily Carry. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.